Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Today I'm going to be installing some new Auxbeam amber fog lights in the front of the Toyota Tacoma. Currently I have the Toyota smoked, clear, whatever you want to call them, fog lights, but I decided I wanted something a little bit stronger, something with a little bit more presence on the front of the truck as well as the light output. So I picked up some Auxbeam square fog lights, and they come like this right here. They're square, but you have to get the adapter that comes with them so that they fit nicely in the opening on the Tacoma, because of course it's round. Now to do that, you have to have both the Auxbeam fog light kit or light kit and the adapters or brackets so that you can mount them in the openings, which come with the round bezels as well. So first of all, you have to take off the square bezel, which is this part here, and replace it with the round bezel. Pretty simple to do. You just take the 4 screws out, remove the square bezel here, and then put the round part on and screw it down. Pretty simple. Okay, that was pretty simple. Now back at the truck, we have to remove the existing fog lights. There's 2 ways to do that. You can remove the grill or try to reach down in here and finagle it. I find that to be much more work. Instead, we're gonna just kind of peel back the fender liner, the inner liner here, so that I can reach through and grab them from the back. Not too hard to do. Inside, there are a couple of fasteners to remove. There's one here, and then one right down here. These are 10 millimeter, and then this one's just a flathead. You just turn and pull out. Pretty simple. Then grab the inner fender and pull it in. That'll give you access inside. So we're going to do that next. Okay, we've got the fender or inner fender pulled away. You're looking at the fog light, and at the top left, you can see that screw. It's a Phillips head screw. You just need to remove that, as well as the wiring down below. You can see that green wire. I need to disconnect, and I think I'm going to disconnect before I take the screw off so that I don't have the fog light floating around in there. So I'm going to unplug it, pull the screw, and then the fog light will be free. Okay, quick tip for you. I was wrong. Take the bolt off or the screw off so that the fog light is free, and then you can fit the wiring through the front and actually unplug it out here with 2 hands as opposed to trying to do it underneath. Much, much simpler. All right, now that we've got the fog light out, you want to pay attention as to how it was oriented in there so that when you go to put the brackets on, the new one, they're the same way. I don't know if it makes a huge difference, but they are in different positions, as you can see. So you want to make sure you do it the right way. Mine was oriented like this in the hole there. So I want to make sure I put the brackets on with this side sticking out further and the other one closer in. So I'm going to go ahead, figure out how to affix these brackets now. There are 4. 2 for each fog light, big one and a small one. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. They just bolt in the side screw holes here. Okay, we've got them in, and after much finagling with the brackets on the back, I probably spent about half an hour, 45 minutes just trying to figure out which way they go. I'll leave a picture here. You guys can see how they're oriented on there. But I did get everything in. A couple things to note. Make sure you test the connection before you put everything back in. For me, it looked like the plug was backwards. It looked like I had it the way it was supposed to be, but it didn't work. I had to flip it around, which looked backwards to me, and it did work. I will note the plugs are not really very secure. I'm gonna put some electrical tape around just to hold them on. After I had put the lights in, my passenger side did not work, and that's because it separated a little bit from the connection. So you might want to wrap a little tape around that just to be sure it stays connected. Not a big deal, but one of those little annoying things. Let's take a look. You guys can see what they look like so far. I like the orange or the amber on the front. You know, I was not a big amber fan, honestly, in the past, but with this magnetic gray metallic and the more things that I've done, the red hooks, the orange lighting, I just think it all kind of blends in, makes the front end look kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead, I've got to button the rest of this up, put everything back together, and you can see the wiring hanging down under there. That's because the pigtail or the extension that they provide, Auxbeam that is, so that you can connect the lights onto the wiring harness, or the factory wiring. Makes it a bit long, so I'm going to kind of zip tie that all together, and then I'm going to push it up below so that you can't see it. Obviously, I'm not going to drive around like that. All right, there you have it. I love the look. I think it just ties everything in the front with the orange or amber theme, I guess. There's a shot of what it looks like with everything off. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I went over this a lot, they don't fit in there smoothly, if you will. There's a gap. I mean, I can stick my finger in there. So if you live in a cold weather climate, you might get snow and ice and crap down in there because it is a void. I didn't see any way to avoid that with the Auxbeam setup. Same way on both sides. You can see right here. When you back off from the truck, of course, you can't see that, but just something to note. If you're really particular, you might want to go with a different brand, something that fits flush as opposed to these. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know. And did I install them wrong? Is that why they're not flush? Let me know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about. Right now, the Mercedes-Benz, gonna go do something on that here when I finish this video. And RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay lit out there. Bye.